Now the next iterative control statement is for loop. This for loop is used when you have a block of code which you want to repeat for a fixed number of times. That means the programmer already knows the number of iterations of the loop. That's why this for loop is called as a definite loop. But in while loop, the programmer don't know the number of iterations in advance. That's why while loop is called as a indefinite loop. Here we can use this for loop to iterate over a sequence like list, tuple, string, etc. And also we can use this for loop with range function to iterate over numbers defined by range function. Now we'll see how we can use this for loop to iterate over a sequence. Here is a syntax. Here this val is a variable that takes the value of the item inside the sequence in each iteration, and this loop will continue until we reach the last item in the sequence. And here when we are writing a for loop, this for loop condition should end with a colon operator. After this colon operator, we have to follow the indentation to separate the body of for loop from the rest of the code. And see, here is the flow chart. So here the first iteration, this variable will take one element from the sequence and it will go to the body of for to execute the statement. After that, again from this statement it will go to the for loop header to take the second element, and then it enter into the body of for loop. So this process will continue until the end of the sequence. If there are no more items in the sequence, then it exits from the for loop to continue with the remaining statement. And these are the example programs. So in example 1, this for is a keyword and this letter is a variable. This variable is used to fetch the element from the sequence. Here the sequence type is string. So this string have set of characters. So in every iteration, this letter variable will fetch one single character from this string. So in the first iteration, this letter variable will assign with the first character in the string. That means this letter variable value is p in the first iteration. So it enter into the body of for loop to display the letter, that is current letter p. So this will be the first print statement. So from this statement again it will go to the for loop to fetch the second character. So now this letter variable value is y. So again it enter into the body of for loop to display the current letter as y. That means letter variable current value is y. Then again it fetch the third character from this string sequence. So now the third character is t. That means letter variable value is t. The third iteration. So it will display that t, after that h, after that o, and finally this n is a value of this variable letter. Now it will display that letter variable value as n, and then there are no more characters to fetch from the sequence. So the control will jump from this for loop to the next statement just below the for loop. And if you see the second example, in the second example, the sequence type is a list type. So we already know the number of iterations because this list have only 3 elements. That means number of iterations are 3 iterations. So here this fruit is a variable name and fruits is a sequence name. Here this sequence contains 3 elements. Those are banana, apple and mango. That means in every iteration this fruit will access one element from the sequence. So here the first iteration, this fruit variable takes the first element from the sequence, that is banana. Then it enter into the body of for loop to display the fruit variable value, that is banana. Then again it will go to the next iteration. So in the next iteration this fruit variable will take this apple because it's the second element. So now fruit variable value is apple, that will be displayed as a second print statement. And then in the third iteration this fruit variable will fetch this third element, that is mango. Now the fruit variable value is mango, that will be displayed. Then in the fourth iteration there are no more elements to fetch. So the control will exit from this for loop and then continue with the statement just below the for loop, that is goodbye. So it will display that goodbye in the last one. This is about the second example. So here when we are writing a for loop, compulsory this for loop should end with a colon operator. After the colon operator, we have to follow the indentation to write some statements inside the for loop. Now I'll execute this program. Now for example, for letter in hello, so hello is a string. Now this for loop is to iterate over a sequence. So when we write a colon operator, after that we have to follow the indentation to write statements inside the for loop. Here I want to display the letter in every iteration. So just display letter. Now outside of for loop, I just want to write some statement like done. So without any indentation, we have to write the statement. If we write one statement without any indentation, that means that is outside of the for loop. Now write done, right? So now I'll execute the code. See this output. So in this, the first iteration, letter variable value is h, so that will be displayed. The second iteration, letter variable value is e, that will be displayed. Third iteration, letter variable value is l. Fourth iteration, letter variable value is l. So like that, in every iteration, this letter variable will fetch one character from this string type of sequence. In the fifth iteration, this letter variable value is O. It will display that. After that, in the sixth iteration, there are no more characters to fetch. So the control will jump from this statement to the statement just below the for loop. That is a print statement. So that will be displayed the last line. Okay. So in place of this sequence, we can use a list or a tuple also. So if I use a list, so here in place of letter, I'll use another variable, that is number. So in the first iteration, this number variable value is 1. The second iteration, number variable value is 2. In the third iteration, number variable value is 3. So in the fourth iteration, there are no more values to fetch from the sequence. So it exits from this for loop and it will display the print statement 3. This will be the output. So here first iteration value is 1, second iteration value is 2, third iteration value is 3. In the fourth iteration, no more values to fetch, so it exits from this for loop and display the print statement value, that is done. Okay, so in place of this, we can use tuple also. So if I run this code, this will be the output. Okay, now range function. We can use this range function in for loop to generate integer numbers between the given start integer to the stop integer. Here, this range function can take 3 parameters. Those are start parameter, stop parameter, and step parameter. This start parameter is used to start the sequence with specific number. If we didn't mention any start value, then the sequence will start with 0. And the next parameter is stop parameter. The stop parameter is used to stop generating integer numbers. And here the stop parameter value is n-1 only. Now the third parameter is step size parameter. It is just like increment or decrement. So this step size parameter is used to indicate whether number should be generated in sequence or whether some specific integer should be skipped. See this example. Here this range function have 3 parameters. So first parameter is the start value, that is 1, and the second parameter is the stop value, that is 10, and the third parameter is the step size value. So here this sequence starts from 1 and it will generate the numbers up to 9 only, because 10 is not included, because the stop parameter will take only n-1 value, and this step size is 2. That means in every iteration the step value will increase by 2. That means first it will generate the value 1, then step value is 2, that means 1 plus 2 3, then 3 plus 2 5, 5 plus 2 7, 7 plus 2 9. Here the stop value is 10, so it will generate from 1 to 9 only. This is the example. The second example, here this range function takes only 2 parameters. Those are start parameter and stop parameter, and there is no step size parameter. If there is no step size parameter, then by default the value increases by 1 every time. So see here, here this 5 is the start value and 9 is the stop value. That means it will generate the numbers from 5 to 8 only. It will not include the ninth value because stop value is n minus 1 only. If you see the first example, here start value is 1, so the sequence starts from 1. Here in the second example, start value is 5, so it will start from 5 only. And here the stop value is 10, so it will take up to n minus 1. And here stop value is 9, that means it will take up to n minus 1, that is 8. And here in this first example, we have step size that is 2. So in every iteration, it increases the value by 2. So that's why this 1, after that we'll get 3 and 5, 7, 9. But in the second example, there is no step value. That's why in every iteration, this value increases by 1 only by default. So 5 plus 1, 6, 6 plus 1, 7, 7 plus 1, 8. That will get. Now in the third example, this range function have only one single parameter. So the interpretable concept is as a stop value. That means there is no start value and step value. So if there is no start value, then by default the sequence starts from 0. See this example. So here range of 8. So there is no start value and there is no step size value. Here this 8 is the stop value. So if there is no start value, then by default the sequence starts from 0. And if there is no step size, then by default it increases the value by 1 in every case. So 0 plus 1, 1, 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 1, 3, like that. So here the stop value is 8, that means it will generate the numbers from 0 to 7 only because it will take up to n minus 1 only. So here we can use this range function by passing 2 parameters or 3 parameters or only 1 parameter. Okay, now we'll see an example. See this example 1. So here this print statement is to display the range of 10. Here this range function have only one single parameter, that is stop value. So by default the sequence starts from 0 and the step size is 1. Here this list function is used to convert the sequence into list types. See here when I execute the code, this will be the output. So here the stop value is 10, that means it will generate up to 9 only, and there is no start value, so by default it starts from 0, and there is no step value, so by default it increase the value by 1 every time. See 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. And here I have used this list to convert the entire sequence into list type. So see, all these elements are inside the square bracket. And in the second print statement, here this range function have two parameters, start value and stop value. That means here the sequence starts from 2 and the sequence will generate up to 7 only. It will not include the 8th one. See here last value is 7 and there is no step value, so by default it increases the value by 1 every time. 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 1, 4, 4 plus 1, 5, like that. And here also I'm converting the sequence into list, so all the elements are in square brackets. Now in the third print statement, this range function have start value, stop value and step value. Here start value is 2, that means here the sequence starts from 2, and here the step size is 3, that means in every iteration the value increases by 3, that means 2 plus 3 5, 5 plus 3 8, 8 plus 3 11, 11 plus 3 14, 14 plus 3 17, but 17 plus 3 20, but here stop value is 20, that means it will generate up to 19 only. Now in the second example we are using this range function in for loop. Here this range function starts from 1 to 11, that means it will generate the numbers from 1 to 10 only, it will not include the 11th one. And here this I is the variable name and this I initial value is 1, that means this I initial value is depend on the range function start value. Here if the range function start value is 3, then I initial value is also 3, right? So now when we execute the code, first I initial value is 1, so it enter into the for loop body to display the I value as 1, and there is an end specifier, so it will not move to the next line, it will give one space only. So now from this statement again it will go to the for loop header to increase the I value. Here we didn't mention the step size, so by default I value increases by 1. So initial I value is 1, so 1 plus 1 I value is 2. So again it entered into the for loop body to display the I value as 2. After that, in the third iteration, I value is 2 plus 1, 3. So again it entered to the for loop body to display the I value as 3. So like that, this loop will iterate like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and if I value is 10, it will display 10. Then in the next iteration, I value is 10 plus 1, that is 11. So here internal condition is 11 less than 11. This condition is false, right? So it exits from the for loop and it will continue with the remaining statements just below the for loop. Now I'll execute the code. Print list of range of 10. Here there is no start value and there is no step size. So by default start value is 0 and step value is 1 in every iteration. So it will be the value by 1 every time, and here it will generate the numbers from 0 to 9 only. It will not include the 10th one. So now if I type list of range of start value and stop value. Now if I run this code, here start value is 3 and stop value is 10, that means up to 9 it will take. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is the output. For example, if I change this start value as 5, then the sequence starts from 5 only. See here, start value starts from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. For example, if the step value is 2, then every iteration it will increase the value by 2. So 5, 5 plus 2, 7, 7 plus 2, 9 will get. Okay, now I'll write one more example. Now for loop is a keyword, I is a variable name, range function with start value and stop value, colon operator. So after colon operator we have to follow one tab indentation. Now print I value, and outside of the for loop just print done. So this range function will generate numbers from 1 to 9 only, and here this I variable initial value is 1 in the first iteration, then in the next iteration I value increases by 1, and the next iteration I value increases by 1, like that. So the I value is increased by 1 in every iteration, so we'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So when the I value is 10, so internally it will compare the values like 10 less than 10, condition is false, so the control exits from this for loop and then we continue the statement just below the for loop, that is done. So let me execute this code. See here, so it will generate the numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. When the I value is 10, then here the condition is 10 less than 10. Condition is false, so it exits from the for loop and it will display that as done. Okay, here to display the values in reverse order, the start value must be greater than the stop value. So here I'll put 5 to 0 and step value should be minus 1. So in every iteration the value decreases by 1 here, right? So when we run this code, the output is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, because the first iteration I initial value is 5. So it will display that I value as 5. The next iteration I value decreases by 1, that means 5 minus 1, that is 4. So here internally it will set the condition like 4 greater than 0. Condition is true, so it enter into the for loop to display the value, that is 4. Then in the next iteration 4 minus 1, 3, and 3 greater than 0. Condition is true, again display the I value as 3. The next iteration 3 minus 1, value is 2, and 2 greater than 0. Condition is true, then display the I value as 2. In the next iteration 2 minus 1, 1. So I value is 1. So display the I value as 1 here. And in the next iteration, I value 1 minus 1, 0. And here the condition is 0 greater than 0. Condition is false. So it exits from the for loop and it will display this print statement, that is done. So this is the output. Now nested for loop. So just like nested if condition, we can write one for loop in another for loop, and that is called as a nested for loop. Here this example is to show how we can write nested for loop in Python. So this example is to display this pattern here. So this is the pattern. So here in this pattern we have 3 rows, 1, 2, 3. 3 rows, right? So to accept the number of rows, we are using a variable here, that is n. So this n variable is to take the number of rows as a user input. For example, the number of rows 3. And now this is the outer for loop. So here outer for loop variable is I, and here range function is from 1 to n plus 1. That means range function starting value is 1 and stop value is n plus 1. That means 3 plus 1, 4. Here it will check the condition like 1 less than 4. Condition is true. Here if you see this pattern have 3 rows, right? So this outer for loop is for number of rows, right? Now 1 less than 4, condition is true, so it enter into the inner for loop. So in this inner for loop, this is a variable j, and this j variable initial value is 1, and here the number of iterations of this inner for loop is I plus 1. That means here I represents the number of columns. See here in this pattern, first row 1 column, the second row 2 columns, third row 3 columns. So here I represents the number of columns. So that's why we have used this I variable. So I plus 1, that means I initial value is 1 here. So 1 plus 1, that means I value is 2. So here stop value is 2 and start value is 1, and the condition is like 1 less than 2. So this is the inner condition. So 1 less than 2. This condition is also true. So enter into the nested for loop to display the star symbol. So it will display the star symbol, and then there is a end specifier. So it will give one space. Now the point is here. Then after completion of first iteration, the control will jump from this print statement to the inner loop incrementation. That means now j value increased by 1. Actually j initial value is 1. Because of step size, in every iteration j value increases by 1. That means now in the second iteration j value is 1 plus 1, 2. Here the condition is 2 less than, stop value is 2, right? So 2 less than 2. Condition is false. So it exits from this inner for loop, and then after that inner for loop there is a print statement. It is a empty print statement. As I said you earlier, the print function last character is a new line character. So actually the pointer is in first line, second position. So to move the pointer to the next line, we are using this empty print statement here. So because of this empty print statement, the pointer will move to the next line, first column. Because by default print statement last character is a new line character, so it moves the pointer from first line to the second line. Now the pointer is in second line, first row, right? So from this statement again the control will go to the outer loop incrementation. So initially I value is 1. Now step size increased by 1. That means now I value is 1 plus 1, 2. So the condition is 2 less than, stop value is 4, right? So 2 less than 4, condition is true. So again it entered into the inner for loop. Now again inner for loop starts from 1 only, and here the stop value is changed now because I value is changed. So actually I value is 2 now. So 2 plus 1, 3. That means stop value is 3. So here the condition is 1 less than 3. Condition is true. So it will enter into the inner for loop to display the star symbol in the second row, first column, that is star, and there is a end specifier, so it will give one space. Now again from this print statement it will go to the inner for loop only to increase the j value. So actually j initial value is 1. Now it increase the value by 1. Step size value is 1, right? So now j value is 2. So 2 less than 3. Condition is true. Again it entered into the inner for loop to display the star symbol in the second row, second column. Now and specifier will give one space. Now the pointer is here. This second row, third column. Now again the control will go to the inner loop incrementation. Now j value is 2 plus 1. That means j value is 3. So now the condition is, internal condition is 3 less than 3. Condition is false. So it exit from this inner loop and then it will go to the empty print statement, because this is just below the inner for loop, right? So it will go to the empty print statement. So because of this empty print statement, the pointer will move from the second row to the third row. Now the pointer is in third row, first column. So from this statement, the control will go to the outer for loop to increase the I value. So I value increased by 1, that means I value is 2 here. So 2 plus 1, 3. Now the I value is 3. So here the condition is 3 less than 4. So this condition is true. So it enter into the inner for loop. Again inner for loop starts from the beginning only. So that means again j value initialized by 1 and stop value is I plus 1, that means updated I value is 3 plus 1, that means here stop value is 4. So here internally it will check the condition like 1 less than 4. Condition is true, so it enter into the inner for loop to display the star symbol in third row, first column. Then again it will go to the inner for loop incrementation, that means j value. J initial value is 1. Now increase the value by 1, that means 1 plus 1, 2. So 2 less than 4, condition is true, again display the value, that is star and 1 space. Now the pointer is here. In the third iteration, j value increased by 1, that means j value is 2 and 2 plus 1, 3. So 3 less than 4, condition is true, again it will enter into the inner for loop to display the star symbol in third row, third column. Then again control will go to the inner for loop to increase the j value. So j value is 3. Now after incrementation, j value is 4. So 4 less than 4. Here internal condition is false. So it exits from this inner loop. Then it will go to the statement just below the inner loop. That is an empty print statement. So the pointer is here. So from this row, the pointer will move to the next row. That is fourth row, first column. So from this print statement, again the control will go to the outer for loop to increase the I value. So updated I value is 3 here. So 3 plus 1, 4. So 4 less than 4, condition is false. So the control will exit from the for loop, and if there is any statement outside of for loop, then it executes that statement. So there is no statement in this example. So it just stops the iteration. So this will be the output. So first row, first column. Second row, 2 columns. Third row, 3 columns. Now I'll execute the code. First read n value to enter the number of rows and write outer for loop for I in range. Here range function starts from 1 to n plus 1 rows. So outer for loop is for number of rows and j in range of 1 to, here number of columns depends on the number of rows, because it is a first row, number of columns also 1. If it is second row, number of columns 2. If it is third row, number of columns 3. That means I represents the number of columns, so I am using I here. So I plus 1 is a stop value. Here also have to put colon operator, and then if I write one statement, so this statement is inside the nested for loop, so we have to do 2 tab indentation to write the print statement. Here the print statement is display star symbol and change the last character of the print function as 1 space. For that I am using n specifier, n equal to 1 space. Now outside of for loop, I am writing an empty print statement to move the pointer to the next line. Now I will execute the code. Number of rows, 5 rows. See, this is the output. So first row 1 star, second row 2 stars, third row 3 columns, fourth row 4 columns, fifth row 5 columns. If the control is an outer for loop, in the first iteration I value is 1, then it enter into the inner for loop. Here j value is also starts from 1 and the number of iterations depend on the I value. So here I value is 1, so 1 plus 1, 2. So number of iterations, only 1 iteration. Then in the next iteration, I value is 2, so 2 plus 1, 3. Then it will display 2 star symbols. Like that, the loop will repeat. So like this we can write nested for loop.